Tonight we're going to talk about Thomas Jefferson's legacy. Before we talk too much about Thomas Jefferson, we need to know exactly what legacy is, or the definition of legacy. In the Olympics, you would hear people talk about a lot of different legacies, or the legacy of athletes, how they're remembered. Like he's remembered as the greatest Olympian ever. Specifically, we're talking about Michael Phelps and how he's remembered, or his legacy. And that's one way, it's how a person is remembered. Dictionary.com says that it's something handed down from the past. So legacy could be something that a way a person is remembered, or it could be something that's handed down from the past. Now we take a little bit of a look at Thomas Jefferson. We look at an article that was written by Stephanie P. Newbold called The Influential Legacy of Thomas Jefferson, that I pulled off the Monticello.org website. And it says, Jefferson was fluent in 5 languages, the author of the Declaration of Independence and over 16,000 published letters, Vice President of the United States, President of the United States, founder of the University of Virginia, a lawyer, ergonomist, musician, scientist, philosopher, author, architect, inventor, and statesman. So right there we hear the different things that he's remembered for. Being the founder of Virginia. And that's something that he handed down in education. He was the President of the United States, something he's remembered for. He was the author of the Declaration of Independence. So we're going to take a quick look at the Declaration, or part of the Declaration of Independence, where he wrote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." And right there, I think that's exactly where Thomas Jefferson's legacy lies. It's not necessarily the Declaration of Independence, as the Declaration of Independence kind of declares the colony's independence from Britain, but I think it's right in that wording where he says, all men are created equal, so everybody's on the same playing field, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, or certain freedoms, and one of those is life, liberty, or freedom, and the pursuit of happiness. So I think the true legacy of Thomas Jefferson is, in one word, freedom. Something he's remembered for, and something he passed down. We also understand that the Statue of Virginia for religious freedom, which was a big part of writing the First Amendment, is part of his legacy as well, where he is extremely proud. In fact, he was proud enough that he wanted it put onto his gravestone at his death, was that he was a huge proponent of religious freedom. And so we kind of look at a little bit of what the First Amendment says. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise of religion. So he wasn't saying that government should have nothing to do with religion. He was simply saying that government should not say, it shouldn't be a government-run religion. There shouldn't be one that runs one's religion. And the government cannot say, you can't go to that religion, or you can't look at that religion. And I thought it was extremely interesting in Daniel Dreisbach's A New Perspective on Jefferson's View on Church-State Relations, the Virginia Statute establishing religious freedom in the legislative context. In that, Daniel Dreisbach talked about 5 specific bills, Bill 82, 83, 84, and 85, and 86, or 82 through 86. And in it, he talked about how judges and a lot of people focus more on Bill 82 and say that is where the separation of church and state really lies, and that's where they built that wall. In fact, church and state doesn't even separation of church and state doesn't even really focus in on that. It was actually the Dransbury letters where they're talk more about the separation of church and state and putting that wall up between those. But if you go and look at the other 5 bills, it kind of talks about how government's still there to help, or to provide aid. It's just they can't give money to this religion and not to this religion. And I think that's mainly what Daniel Dreisbach was saying, was that you can't really do that. So his legacy is somewhat diluted by the fact that people don't go enough into research to the other areas. They see what they want to see, and they put that separation in church and state, which is kind of, I wouldn't say it's tarnished his legacy, but it definitely has impacted it. For me, I think Thomas Jefferson's legacy, and there's other things that's in Thomas Jefferson's past that have a negative tone, and his legacy is impacted for. But for me, the Declaration of Independence and the religious freedom that it was given to the people of Virginia, and ultimately all of the United States, is the true legacy. And in one word, that legacy is freedom.